Alright, time for underdraftphysics.com, debatephysics.com, also video presentation. So whatever he is, he's just crazy is what he is. Psychophysicist. A real dickhead. Alright, so he's made his part 2 where he's doing the big reveal of the experiment we've seen 73 different times. Yes, physicists make it come out their way, okay? But they'll never explain how it makes any reasonable sense that they can create free momentum and that doesn't mean anything. That you can create all the free momentum you want, and in this universe somehow that won't do any work. When in every circumstance there is just about, the only thing that does do work is momentum. That's what works in car crashes. It works smashing or breaking things. It's really an important thing, momentum. So making free of it it should be a concept that everybody's a little bit reluctant to accept as part of the conditions of their theory of physics, that you can make free momentum because, frankly, it's free energy. All right, anyway. So this is the illustration of the experiment, the 1 mass into the 1.5. The big reveal is that 20% of the momentum goes this way and 120% goes that way. So you have 40% more momentum than you started with. And obviously by just having the second cart bounce off the wall, they'll both be going in the same direction. So direction is irrelevant, especially on an air track, obviously. So, so you could just have 100 momentums going this way, and you can just make it into 140 with your little device, and it's free momentum. You didn't pay for it. Didn't cost anything. And that's supposed to make sense to reasonable people. So I just argue I don't think it makes sense to reasonable people. I mean, people who are nutty religious kooks, it might make sense to, but I don't think it can be made to make sense to people who understand that if there was free energy, we'd all have some. Yeah, duh. So anyway, I made a couple of videos pointing out different ways he could do experiments on his air track to weed out any possible functions that are creating the phenomenon. And obviously, fact that they're not banging the carts into each other through their center of mass is a big problem. You can understand if they put car bumpers 9 feet high, you could kind of understand that when the cars crashed into each other, they would tend to flip over. It's just simple logic. And obviously with air tracks, there's a whole bunch of extra energy in the system. And the idea is you're not supposed to let that extra energy corrupt your readings. And the simple argument is, of course, it can. And you have to demonstrate that it doesn't. You can't just say it doesn't. You have to demonstrate it doesn't. And he won't be willing to do any of those tests. So, I guess I'll put a couple of videos. What's the point? I'll put a couple of videos in the description. Or maybe I'll just post a comment with a couple of videos where I go over all the ways he could modify these experiments and verify that there is no flaw, that it actually is happening. And then there's videos I've done way in the past where I've pointed out all the ways you could do the experiment differently with some other mechanism and collect all of this free momentum, over and over again, because you're getting essentially the energy back in one direction. You could put it on a ramp and it could just keep swinging back and forth and hitting objects and making more and more free momentum. Alright, so they won't deal with those real arguments. Alright, so anyway. So he's made a video, and of course he's still doxing me, so I'm not going to play his video. And I'll just play the audio that's, I think, safe until it gets unsafe, I guess. And see how far we get. I mean, I really don't want to be editing videos to extract crap that shouldn't be in them in the first place. Now, on top of that, in this video, he's going to directly make an illegal slander. I mean, he's going to imply that because I have the same name as somebody else, I have committed crimes they committed, and he has some good reason to think so, and therefore he can say that. And that's just so damn stupid. I mean, for anybody to think they have a right to just Google a name, find a criminal with the same name, and then say any person with that name is the same guy. He's the criminal. He did it. He's a criminal. I mean, it's just so damn fucking stupid. So it's somebody accused of a sex crime. This is a guy who, it's actually an interesting story, so I might as well tell you. When I was a kid, about 12 years old, I was in Little League for a year. Some little crappy, it was a real bad news Bears kind of baseball team. And, we all were dysfunctional. We're already drug addicts, frankly. So I must have been 12, 13, somewhere in that age. And we were at this place playing baseball on one of the fields, and there were like 3 or 4 other fields. And people kept coming up to me and saying, "What are you doing over here? You're playing over there." Like there was some guy who looked like me, and the funny thing was he had the same goddamn name. And so there was all this weirdness because people were saying, "What are you doing?" It was all very confusing. And I never met the guy, never saw him. So, it was just really bizarre. And then later, many years later, an ex-girlfriend of mine called me up and said how, she's been corresponding with me in prison. And it was like, yeah, well, obviously I'm not in prison. So you haven't been corresponding with me. You were corresponding with this other guy, which is just so funny. Because he was in prison for some kind of bullshit. And then later, all right, I was on Social Security and all of my files disappeared. And somehow they ended, he had somehow engineered the theft of my files into his folder. And then eventually they all got, I couldn't recover anything. So all of my medical records, everything was gone. So he was a guy who was fucking around with the law all over the place. So the very idea that, okay, that guy probably is the same guy. I mean, he was Mercer County. I lived in Morris County. He lived in, apparently, Mercer County. I think he's dead now. But yeah, we were about the same age. I think I'm a little younger. I'm not sure. But anyway, so it is a weird story. But there really isn't any facts at all that connect us. There's no public information where he's at my address. Now, I did get some of his mail. I mean, people would come to me, creditors looking for payments, and I'm like, well, not me, fella. And there was some other stuff. There was some other mail I got, But anyway, where people just looking for this other guy. So there's nothing there. I'm just saying you don't have a right to accuse me of the crime, to say I committed any crimes, that I am that person. That's not your right, okay? That's a wrong. You don't do that to people. You don't slander people. And it's just disgusting that this asshole, because of a physics debate, is resorting to all of these nasty, shitty tactics. I mean, it's not much difference than swatting me. I mean, really, what's the difference between swatting me and then claiming I'm guilty of crimes I didn't commit? I mean, it's disgusting that he gets away with this shit. So we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously the video doesn't come down. I will have to file a lawsuit in Superior Court because, fuck you, I'm not going to accept this. You're not going to leave a video up where you're going to claim that I'm guilty of crimes I'm not guilty of. You have no good evidence. You have no good reason. And you're only doing it because you're a malicious fucking prick. All right? And that's going to be so easy to prove with your own emails. Your constant badgering and harassment of me that I should somehow pay attention to your silly narratives and your silly made-up stories and your silly nonsense. I'm totally disinterested. And you've just shown how malicious you are and essentially steal my artwork and then deface it. Well, how the fuck are you going to explain that to a judge, that you're somehow the innocent party? Fuck you are, you moron. So anyway. So we'll do this first half, and then I'll have to make a real video about the real physics that he just couldn't give a fucking shit about. All right. So he's just going to lie here. I mean, I'll make all the emails public. I mean, there's no doubt about what happened here. He decided, I'm going to make a buffooning page of you. I'm going to make fun of you. Ha ha ha, like other flat earthers. Ha 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 ha. And I said, fuck you, go ahead. I don't give a shit. Okay, at the time, I didn't know that meant doxing and stealing my shit. Okay, but yeah, I said, okay, what do I care? And so, once he did all of that, and he doxed me, then I said, well, okay, I'm going to, fuck you, I'll retaliate. So I made a page of him and made him a proper little dickhead. And, but that's it. I'm not sure. I don't have a page trying to imply that he's a criminal or anything. So if you go to the page I made, there's nothing there but pointing out that he's a psycho crazy fuck and nothing else. I didn't make up any fake narratives. I haven't done anything to this fucking creep. Except imply that he's a fucking creep. Well, directly state that he's a fucking creep. Alright. Fucking very creepy. So anyway, I'll play the audio. We'll see how far we can get. But we'll probably have to do it later. Yeah, so I'll pause here. Well, maybe I'll stop here. Just in case. Alright, should be back. So let's play the video, right?
Destruction. It is going to be better than what I was hoping.
Whatever. Your accusation is exactly what we've heard before, seen before. So there's absolutely nothing new here at all. I mean, just nothing. So, and again, you're not going to in any way respond to any of these questions regarding the efficacy of the experiment itself. Is it really going to get to the truth?
You remember at the end of the first part, I was telling Gary he was now facing a trilemma, and the third option he had was to cowardly flee. As I was expecting...
what the hell is this? It's just such nonsense. I made 2 videos on the subject, maybe 3, and this one. So where's the sign of fleeing, you fucking lunatic? Again, this guy is so fucking crazy.
This is your...
He's a physicist. This is how a fucking scientist talks. This rubbish. I mean, I'm going to do another video on his, his wacky dead cat crap. He's basically doing an experiment like... let's put some soup in front of a homeless man. If he eats the soup, I'll shoot a cat. And if he doesn't eat the soup, I won't shoot the cat. And we'll call it, Einstein soup. What are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's just such garbage. This isn't science. This hasn't made any contribution to the time dilation subject at all.
He chose cowardly flee and lie.
Oh, brother, just too ridiculous. I mean, I made a video within 6 hours of your video. That's running away. Oh, fuck you.
Over and over again while throwing insults.
I mean, all he has typed are insults. So I can just, again, all the emails all have loser in them or some other kind of crap. And who cares about insults? What is it? You're that much of a little snowflake that somebody can't call you an asshole? That's what you are. So it's a perfectly reasonable thing for somebody to say. Oh, god damn, what an asshole.
And obscenities.
Whatever that is. What's an obscenity? I don't really even understand. What's an obscenity, you fucking piece of shit? You just accuse somebody, illegitimately of a crime they didn't commit. That should be an obscenity. You fucking moron.
So here I'm going to prove that he really is a blatant liar and therefore a coward.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, this is not an insult.
Yeah, okay, and I'll prove it in court. So if you don't retract what you're saying in this video, I'll sue you, you fuck. Okay, and then you can explain to a judge how what you just said has any integrity at all. Okay, you're gonna lie in this video, overtly lie. All right, and so you can explain it to a judge, fucker.
It's just a diagnostic. Let us start with his claim that I supposedly started the attacks.
Of course. The attacks, the only attacks that matter. Okay, yes, you started right from the beginning calling me loser, and then right after that bullshit, okay, Then you're the one who started with the idiotic buffooning page full of lies and doxing me. And I made it clear to you, I don't appreciate that, okay? That's a line I draw, okay? You've crossed it, all right? So now you're in my fucking personal life. I don't appreciate that, so yeah, fuck you. You'll get what you deserve. And it didn't happen until after you, in fact, imported my artwork and started defacing that. And it wasn't until then that I responded, you fucking weasel.
Listen to his video.
And now he's whining about it when he started every fucking bit of it. Yeah, I don't know how he can interpret it in any other way. He made his crazy, preposterous lie page and then complains that somebody says, well, touche, fucker. And he's just going to sit here and lie and pretend he's a victim of something. This fucking liar. I just can't believe people would defend such a cowardly liar.
Okay, let's see who's the liar. About a month ago...
So he's making this up. About a month ago, something happened in this vague date. Fuck you. Just post the emails, you weasel.
I had never heard about him. Then I was told by one of my followers that a crackpot made a ridiculous...
Oh, okay, so they start off with calling me a crackpot, right? And that's not to you provocative. So the first notice you had was the word crackpot. And you're going to say you're an innocent player somewhere? Yeah, fuck you.
Video in which he was trying to destroy my peer-reviewed...
So he doesn't even have the facts right. The first argument was about the stupid spinning ball thing on a string. And, I made a video saying you can't add momentum. And then I said, well, okay, well, maybe you can through angular rotation. In the sense you're adding extra energy when you pull on a string. But if you move the object by some other mechanism, it'll be the same velocity. But it didn't matter. I wasn't worth arguing about because it's a minor amount of energy. So I said, fine. And I apologized, said, okay, I'm not going to argue that subject. And then I noticed you have these silly relativity videos, so I made a response video to one of the silly relativity videos. Hardly an outrageous act. Alright, back again. Gotta edit because he has to always just keep doing this doxing shit. I shouldn't even play his videos, there's just no point.
Science. Let's go down to dark activities. You see this screenshot, or you would like to claim that it's entirely made up?
It's not made up. It has nothing to do with me. It's again, so he's taken a random piece of crap from the internet. So he Googles somebody's name that he shouldn't be playing with in the first place, finds somebody who has the same name, and then if that person's committed a crime, he says, I committed the crime. That's all he did here. He didn't research any of this. He has no clue what kind of accusations he's making. So it's just disgusting behavior. Disgusting. And I'm going to sue you, fucker. You take this video down and you apologize, or I'm going to sue you. I've done it before. I know how to do it. And I'll sue your fucking university to boot. Because they're facilitating your bad behavior.
But unfortunately for you, Gary, I also give the link of the journal. The link,
it's not a journal, it's something called whatever, Daily Bulldog. It's 15-year-old crap. And he's sitting here saying that's an authority. The authority said draft science is this person. No, the authority didn't say that. There's nowhere in here that this links me to this criminal in any other way that we have the same fucking name. You think it's that unusual that people have the same fucking name? God, what are people who have the name Smith or Jones? Oh man, they must be in real trouble because you could probably find an actual, mass murderer with the name Smith or Jones.
Published this article, so let's click on it.
There's no article. It's a news article about something that happened 15 years ago about a person who isn't me. How do I respond to that? Except with, fuck you. All right, I guess I'll have to pause through this. I'll play it and then pause, I guess, to see if he's going to keep doxing me. All right, so he's reading the article. So my name, 54-year-old, 15 years ago, or whatever, 10 years ago, blah, 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 blah. It's just such bullshit. So here...
2014, sexually assaulted a 17-year-old juvenile.
So he's saying that was me. And obviously it's not me. It's not the right county. It's not a lot of things, a lot of ways you can find out it's not me, but I don't have an obligation to explain why it's not me. You have an obligation to explain how you have any evidence whatsoever that that person is me. Just because we have the same name, you have to demonstrate some reason to believe that person is me. And you don't have any reason to do that. And you certainly have no reason to publish this accusation, you fucking dumb shit. You're a fucking physics professor and you don't know that you can't do this shit? You're so fucking ignorant?
Tell us again, Gary, who is the teddy bear molester?
So again, it's just unbelievable that a physics professor, because somebody thinks that their physics is shit and explained why they think it's shit, and this asshole does this kind of crap. This is what he has to resort to because he can't make a physics argument.
Do you really think that people don't know why you are hiding in your basement?
So again, it's not my basement, as I've tried to point out to you. It's not my house. It's not my basement. And all you're doing is threatening innocent people who might be made vulnerable because of your sloppy and reckless behavior. You're an asshole. You're just a bully.
It's not only because you're not working and cannot afford anything else. It's because...
So you're going to keep lying and make up stories, okay? You have to account for these stories you're making up and the impact they would have on an audience. You've made your lies. Now you're going to have to eat it, fucker. You're going to have to eat the consequences of being a disgusting, stupid, moronic, ignorant liar on the internet.
You have to hide.
You're going to have to do some explaining.
Because of the numerous charges against you.
Yeah, there's no numerous charge. There's not even any charges, you fucking piece of shit. There's never been a charge. It's just so evil that, this is actually how they think the game should be played. That people should have to defend themselves against absolute bullshit lies. I should waste my time proving my innocence, just like I have to waste my time not pointing out how they don't have proof. No, I have to prove. They don't have to prove. I have to prove my innocence. They don't have to prove that they have good physics. I have to prove I have good physics. I mean, the duplicity of these weasels.
He knows that when a offender moves to a new area, people in the neighborhood receive a notice about it.
So again, it's not. Again, I shouldn't have to explain my personal life, but I lived in the same address for 47 years. I lived in the same town for over 55 years. So this is just a waste of everybody's time.
The notice doesn't say who the sex offender is, neither what his exact address is. And that's why...
So, again, he's saying you have some evidence that I'm on some list, blah, 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 blah. I'm not. You're lying. It's a disgusting slander. You're way too old to be playing games this fucking stupid.